Welcome back to my channel and the final part in a three-part series of interviews with the new Apeks players and staff for their 2024 Polaris campaign. If you've missed any of the videos so far, make sure to check them out at the cards in the corner. I do plenty of interviews throughout the year, so make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you do not miss out. This week's interview is another Polish star with a storied background, competing in VCT EMEA either side of the partnership era, and taking those first steps into Berlin alongside the Golden Hornets. An experienced player, albeit a fresh face in the IGL space, I spoke with Apeks' new leader, MOLSI. MOLSI, welcome to the video. You are the new IGL for Apeks. How are you doing?
Hello, thank you for asking. I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, thanks. It's a pleasure to have you on the video. It's the first interview that we've done together. I want to lay the foundation for you as a player, give us a feel for what we can expect. What was your first experience that you had in esports? What's your background? Where did you come from?
I would say like I started from CSGO like on top level, like on pro level, but I was playing 1.6. I was on first line in 2010, and yeah, it's like long story to say, but like people mostly recognize me from CSGO, where I had some achievements. I played in some Polish teams mainly, and yeah, I was playing FPL Challenger and stuff, and was also second place. I had also second place in Polish Championship, so there is like some achievements in CSGO.
Yeah, I know they're starting to do away with some of those regional competitions now, like the ESL championships that they have for different regions, and playing at a high level in Poland in CSGO. How exactly did that shape you as a player? I know quite a few players started in other games. Kayak started in Fortnite. There are some people that went straight into Valorant as their first FPS. What extra experience did that really give you?
I mean, like, for sure, like, I had this team experience because I was playing in teams in CSGO, so, like, team play was similar to me, yeah, let's say. And I was on, like, I think, like, in my career, like, I was 30 LANs or something, both in CS 1.6 and CSGO. So it's, like, also some experience that I could bring into Valorant. And I would say, like, I never play in European team in CSGO, so like I was always saying that I'm not gonna play in Europe because my English is bad. I even like one of the last interview I had in CSGO with Polish like cast or something. I just said that I'm not gonna play in Europe, but then I got like after I got like kicked from the team in CSGO, there was Valorant coming out, and yeah, I got like offer insta to get into the org and make a team. It was back with the Nix and Patitek, but Patitek went to G2, so it was like long story. But yeah, basically I don't think I would change into Valorant if I didn't have this offer back then.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So would you then also say that because Valorant feels like such a global esport as well, and especially in EMEA, there aren't necessarily too many predominantly Polish-speaking teams until sort of like the last couple of years, maybe? Would you say that it felt like you had to bring up your level of English to really compete within this circuit?
I mean, at the beginning, we wanted to create Polish team when I switched, but then we saw that like there is not many good players in Poland at the beginning of Valorant, and we didn't know like also like who gonna be good. So yeah, like first we started with 3 Polish players. As I could remember. No, sorry, we had 2 Polish players, me and Nix, and then we had Russian players. It was Chihuahua and Duno, like, and Arch, of course, Ukrainian player, my good friend. And yeah, we were speaking mainly English, and I think that was like the beginning for me, like when I started to work on my English and into the game. Like I would say it was like first step for future, you know.
Yeah, speaking of steps, let's then move on into a more recent stage of your career and your time in Berlin. Apeks travelled there recently for Ascension last year. It was the place that you called home for the previous 12 months. What was it like being part of that first wave of players, that first set of teams in the initial year of the international leagues?
I mean, as a person that wasn't living alone for like all of my life, it was kind of hard to adapt to this.
Yeah.
So there was some like problems with living in Berlin, and I would say like I didn't fix it until the end of the Vitality. So yeah, but overall, like I didn't like Berlin that much, and I feel like maybe the place where we lived was kind of isolated from everything because there was hard to get good food, you know, from restaurant and stuff. If you wanted to go eat something with even with the team, you had to travel with train or Uber, which was costing like 50 euro, like one way. But it was a good time. I would say good experience. I know like on what to focus for the future. Even like I was at the beginning like enjoying it, but there are some problems happened during the season that didn't let me focus 100% on my game. So yeah, it's good experience for future. Like if there will be a chance to play in the franchise, I would come back and I would know like on what I should focus to don't have same problems in new team or you know.
Yeah, well, what do you think one of the biggest things you learned was from being in that environment? Because not too many players get the opportunity to go full-time and have it linked so closely connected to what it is they're playing and be within a host city, for example, for a league of that caliber.
I would say like my biggest problem was I had big problems with sleeping basically. I would say I was homesick at some point, and yeah, like I think I adapted at the end in the summer before I got kicked, but like having no one that you could speak is kind of hard for you. So you just like calling and speaking through like messenger or something with parents or friends, good thing. But like I was like missing the most of the time like my old routines that I had in Poland, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that I didn't adapt it just to live in the Berlin back then.
Are there any ideas or sort of feelings from that experience that you think you could bring to this team, especially having a young player like Kayak, for example, who maybe hasn't been in this team environment as much and would need a bit of help in that kind of situation? Or is it different because it's being able to play the majority of the games online?
I would say like if I could help him, like I'm always open. So if he had any questions, he can always ask me. And but this is like kind of different because we are playing online, so
yeah,
like everyone is used to playing online. There is no like stage or anything. Just like most likely, I don't know like how it's for Polaris, if there will be LAN on the first like stage. So if it's gonna be everything online, like people are like used to do it like playing online. So I don't think it's gonna be a problem. Yeah, but if I would give him like anything that could help, like it's mainly like focusing on yourself and just focus on your game and don't like as you said, he's fresh player. So yeah, I hope he don't like put too much pressure on him and he will just like understand that this is like just a game, like everyone can have a bad game. He don't gonna be too harsh for himself. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I mean, you said that living in Berlin was away from home, but you had a bit of home comfort because I know that the Polish community drove a bus all the way there to see you guys play. What's it like, the support that you've had from your sort of region, I suppose, being a player who is competing on that international level, regional level?
I mean, unfortunately, the bus wasn't for our game. We had game next day, so they just come for Starks and Zik. So yeah, but like Valorant in Poland, like, I would say is kinda like we don't have big fan base. Like we have same people like cheering, like as I can see, and everyone who's playing like CS:GO is not supporting Valorant players. Like it's more like people laughing about Valorant, and whoever play Valorant is like, you know, it's game for kids and stuff. but I don't agree. Like, let's see what state is Valorant right now and what state is CS2. Like, I think Valorant is more like, we could be happy that how Riot is working with the game, because everything's like, there's not many problems in the game. Like, we don't have many cheaters. There are some cheaters, but this is not like that much like in in CS2. So yeah, but Polish community there is, but there isn't, I would say. There is someone who's cheating, but not many people, like you can see.
Yeah.
Same faces all the time.
I think it's almost a positive and negative, like you say, and I think quite a few people who I've spoken to have said the same thing, that there is that headroom for it to grow, but more people need to really buy into the project that there is going on there, and we'll have to see how that develops over time. In terms of the project that you're coming into now, of course, your current teammates of Over and Solcas were both also competing in VCT EMEA last year, with Dom, of course, being part of the Liquid side, which ended your run just before Masters. They went on to win VCT EMEA. Having played against them and now being part of a team with them, what exactly is it exactly that you can say about both of them? What are the main qualities that you're looking forward to?
I would say like both players, like they are great players, of course. Maybe like they just got tired of previous teams, so they didn't like play on highest level in the teams. Like people thought they are bad or something, but I feel like Avova is one of the best smoker in Europe by far. And Solcas is, I have the same feeling about Solcas. Like he just played in this on Liquid for so long, and maybe that he changed environment is good for him. Gonna be just like working really good for him. And yeah, they are insane players. I like first days we were playing, like I was saying, this is the Solcas, this is the Avova. They're insane, like, because people were like most of the time really like saying bad things about the players, that they suck just on the tournaments. But I think this is like something like maybe you are just in bad environment, which like you don't enjoy the playing game because like of like people that you are with. Sometimes it's working like this. You're not gonna like your job if you have people that make your job like kinda that you don't like it, So it's like about the environment in the teams, and sometimes you just need to change it and have fresh air in the team, and it's gonna be better for you.
Is there anything that you can comment on in terms of the team environment which you have currently? I know looking at Apeks the last time, while the coaching staff has had a bit of a shuffle, the backroom is all exactly the same. It feels like an org which is a real passion project in this space. Is there anything that you can really say about what the current situation is there and how much they've supported you?
Oh, I think like Apeks as the org is like really nice. Like I would say one of the best that I played in, like top 3 for sure. By support and everything, like they always like caring about us, and we're going on next bootcamp soon in like few days for the first week of the Polaris. And yeah, like we understand each other. Like I think Desmo is new person in the Apeks. I think like as assistant coach he's doing really well. And yeah, like Dane is just Dane, like really nice guy. And yeah, we are working with pleasure, I think, for now at least. Like longer you in with team, like you can see like bad things about people, but for now it's like everything going good for the last 3-4 months. I don't have anything bad to say. We just need to focus on game, because I think like we just went into Egypt without playing basically, because it was spontaneous decision to go, so people can judge us about how the score went and everything. But yeah, we had like 2 or 3 weeks break, and just we got asked if we want to go. It was like spontaneous decision to go at the like beginning of the January. So yeah.
You were one of the first players to be selected for this Apeks team as well,
Yeah.
I think I'm right in saying. Looking at some of the different teams that had been trialed and iterations, you were a consistent name featuring throughout it. There was a lot of trust putting you to sort of be part of this roster. What was it exactly like when you received that call up in the first place saying, yeah, we want you in this team and we want you as the IGL?
I mean, it wasn't like I was IGLing from the beginning. Like they just said to me, they want me, of course,
Okay.
yeah. And I wasn't IGL from the beginning. We just try out some other people on IGL, but we felt like there is something missing. And I just said at some point that I want to try IGLing. I'm getting older because like in like 1 week I'm gonna be 27 already. So it's time to get some experience on IGL. Maybe I'm gonna be coaching 3 or 4 years, you don't know. So I will have this like background as IGL for the future that can help me in the teams to get as a coach. But yeah, like I had also like some other offers, but yeah, I'm happy for what I have. I would say like it's even better because I need some break from Berlin. I would say like so it's gonna be good time in like just 6 months. Like if we qualify for the VCT, it's gonna be insane with this team because we're gonna just have some. We will know already each other, and it's gonna be easier for the future. If we qualify, we're gonna get big boost for morals and stuff, you know. So yeah, that's how it was.
With it being your first time as the IGL and not having prior experience in this role, is there anything that you've done to prepare for making this step, or is it as simple as sliding into the server and saying, okay, I'm going to be calling now?
You know, it's like I had this like some background, like when I was second caller, like for example, sometimes in OG London United, you know, so there was nothing. I was trying also calling in CSGO back, but it was never long because just most of the time like second calling and stuff, you know, and maybe pistol round calls. I had a really good. I remember in CS:GO, but as I said, like I want to become IGL because I think like it's good for me now. Like I will need to kind of refresh myself. So having new role, like it's pretty good for me, and I'm gonna be like now I'm understanding like my old IGLs, how they felt in some scenarios and why they felt like this. So when they were angry or like, I know like what is it now, you know. So yeah, I don't have experience, but I think with coaching stuff and everyone helping me, I can become a good IGL because the scores of the scrims were pretty good for us. Maybe it wasn't the result we wanted in Egypt, but there was like a lot of outside things that happened during this tournament, so I wouldn't like take this tournament as the judging how we played. And yeah, like we're just gonna focus, and I hope we're gonna just win Polaris without losing a map. Like this is the dream, but of course, as IGL, I expect a lot from this roster, you know.
Yeah, you already said a little bit there about what the goal would be, of course, a flawless streak, of which we're yet to see in Polaris. Even the team from last year weren't able to go without dropping a map, let alone a series. You haven't played in Tier 2 since last year. Would you say it's more challenging now than it was before, whether that's speaking to this region specifically or EMEA as a whole?
I would say I never played Tier 2, to be honest. I mean, I played like because like before Vitality I was in OG London United and we qualified for a season of VCT, yeah, basically. But there was no Tier 2 before last year, no?
Yeah.
Like there was no leagues, no anything, so just qualifiers and stuff. So I would say, okay, I played in Tier 2 the qualifiers, the teams, that's true, but I never played like a regional league like it's now. So it's gonna be like debut basically for me. And I think like even losing a map in the league is not a shame because it doesn't matter how you start, it doesn't matter how you end. So we can see on the previous Apeks roster how they ended. Even they didn't lose a single map during the splits. It's still like the ending result is most important, not what like how we start.
Yeah, I think that's quite a synonymous feeling within this team, and an idea that I got from Danny as well, that it is about those last final few moments which make the ultimate difference. As long as your name is still on the sheet of teams by the time you get into that top cut, it doesn't really matter. I know you've spoken about it a little bit already, and I'm only going to briefly touch on it, but it was a difficult tournament in Superdome that you've come out the back of, whether that's external factors or things within the team. For some people within Northern Europe, that will have knocked shock their confidence, and maybe they won't be feeling the same way about this Apeks roster. And I think that's natural. You know, fan culture can be like that at times. What is it that you would say to reassure them that this project is headed in the right direction, and that you're taking the necessary steps to make sure this process is a positive one?
I think like after this LAN, like we need to focus more on like macro for sure, because we had a full macro, and also I would say that sometimes my calls were bad, like, but it's like I need to focus more on the preparing stuff, because like as we could see, like we go on this LAN and we just play basically our best top 3 maps, and somehow we were losing. Like they just go Lotus, which was we always like place maps from 1 to 7 before games, and we put Lotus on the first place, like that's most comfortable map for us, and somehow we like losing first map 13-4, and that's like what's going on. Like we were surprised. Like of course the environment on the tournament wasn't that the best, because we were playing on the 70 ping from Egypt to Frankfurt servers, so of course like teams like from MENA will be more used to this ping than us coming from Europe, where we are used to 20-30 ping max. It was kind of, first day was kind of rough for us, but yeah, I would like say macro is important. If we fix it, like we need to also start playing game, because I feel, because when we took this tournament, like I played previous act 15 games, sorry, I won 15 games, so it's like not many games I played, and yeah, I'm gonna just start grinding for myself. And yeah, I feel like we just need to play, because we had one boot camp already. We spent like 10 days in the Norway. It was great time, of course, but in total we play I think 1 month, so together, so it's not that much time. But yeah, like we're going for the next bootcamp. I feel like we're gonna be more prepared for Polaris than we were for Superdome, for sure.
To look on the positive side of things, you guys did beat BBL. There was a bit of a gap in terms of the game that you played earlier, the games that you played earlier in the day, and then you had a big break. Was there anything that you said to your players or discussions that were had between then to reset the mental and go back in with a fresh approach?
I think like what I said after first lost map, so it was like 6-7 hours before game of BBL, but I said like I don't want to leave to Egypt without knowing that we gave everything, you know. So maybe some, like we didn't show it second game because we lost also, but and also let's be honest, the game against BBL was for, like we say in Poland, it was for carrot, so it was basically for nothing, yeah. And yeah, I would say like we took a nap, because there was like 4 games I think after we played two first games, then we have 4 other games going on, and then we had to play BBL, yeah. So some of us took a nap, and so we come to this game fresh, you know. But I think like BBL were trolling kinda, so it wasn't like we won try-harding BBL, but because this game was for nothing for them. But I think the score is good for us, so like we played our game. Like I would say if we play like this from the beginning, it would be different result, but we cannot do anything about that, so we need to live with what we have.
Playing for carrot or no carrot, I had like 10-15 angry BBL fans in my Twitter replies saying that Polaris was shit, so I had to sort of stand and defend myself anyway, and it was quite funny. But yeah, to speak about some of the other players in this project that you've got as well, of course, you're joining up with Hype again. You had some time with him in the off-season as well, in just random mixes that you guys were playing. What is it that you can say about him as a player and the partnership that you two bring to this team and the dynamic you have?
As the far, like I played with him, like even if of season, I played in OG.
Yeah.
He's a really nice person. Like he's the guy who's bringing energy, I would say, to the team. He's the screaming one guy. I was surprised when he started like on Superdome screaming whenever we won another round. So this is the guy who we wanted to have in the team, but there was like we had to take someone who will be good on the role and who will be understand me as the IGL, because like as we know each other, even I wasn't IGLing, so we know each other already. I would say like he did good on tryouts. He was the best Sentinel on tryouts. He has good agent pool because he can play Viper, he can play Killjoy, he can play Cypher, and that's good. Of course, like I feel his Cypher is insane, and maybe we're gonna see him more on Cypher. But this is like, I didn't took him like because he's my friend. I had deciding vote on the players at the end, but everyone just agreed that he's the guy who we need in the team after the trials, you know, because it was long trials. It was like almost month trying people, and yeah, he was the one who had his chance to join us. But I'm happy with it, and he was doing really good job all the time. So.
I mean, you're a player as well who's played Flex and has been known to even run Duelist in the past. What is the reason now that we've seen you sort of shift more into this different role, and what role is it that you're expecting to be playing more of in this team?
I would say after like few thoughts on after the Superdome, I will just stick to initiator role. So I'll be playing mainly like Sova, Fate, Sky, you know, maybe I don't want to say like I really like Raze. Like I feel like it was one of the favorite agents after Neon, but I need to understand that I'm getting older, so I need to give younger players like time to shine and carry me. I'm joking, of course, but yeah, it's gonna be kind of different than previous teams because I was forcing myself to play on Duelist, and now I'm gonna be like more. As the fact I'm IGL, I will be more flexing, but on initiator role. So it's gonna be. I'm not gonna play Kaio. I don't know. Like I was playing Kaio for previous team, but I don't feel this agent, so Solkas will keep playing it for sure. But Sova, I was like whenever I check like my Valorant tracker or even VLR, I have most games on Sova, so it's like nothing new for me, and I will just try to flex, but. Flex more for team that people feel good on their roles, you know, and yeah, that's how it's gonna be.
Empowering your individuals, making sure that the rest of your team are as comfortable as possible. Yes. Yeah, I like it. With Kayak then in the team as well, and you mentioned him a little bit before, and I touched on him earlier. What is it that you think of this youngster, right? You know, fellow Polish player. Do you guys maybe sometimes, if it's like 2v2 or something like that, would you com in Polish, or is it always in English? And yeah, okay.
I mean, sorry for like interrupting you, but
fine.
Like I remember like before bootcamp, I asked Solkas if in Liquid, when there was Nats and Redgar, they spoke Russian on the clutches or something. He told me no, they didn't. In Vitality, we had like, I don't know, there were some like really stressing rounds. So it was like maybe 2-3 times on whole year. There was like Desian speaking with Sender in Lithuanian. But it was really like, if the round was really like tough, or it was 11-11, you know, like they spoke Lithuanian. But I would say like it's not good to speak your own language, and even if you 2v2 to like situations like this, when you because imagine you saying something in Polish to your like let's say Kayak. I'm gonna say to him some info in Polish, and people like outside hearing this, they don't know what we said, so they can repeat the info that we said. We just literally said. You know, like if someone heard, okay, Kayak heard one, Kayak say, okay, I hear one in Polish, and imagine that other person like just repeat the info, but in English because he don't know what we spoke. So I would try rather to don't speak Polish and just full focus on English comms. It helped team understand like what we speak about during the round. So it's better for team. I feel like.
Yeah, no, that's some really interesting insight, because I know that different teams do it differently, but committing to this full English approach should show its benefits, like you've already listed a couple of them there. Final few questions rounding it out and heading into this first split of Polaris. We saw in the team Discord some information got released in terms of what the map pool's going to look like, the new gun that's come in. What's your feelings on the 8.0 patch? Where does that sit in your head right now?
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
With you. I didn't play Valorant yet because we were on the LAN, so we play on tournament client. And Deadlock Wall is kinda sassy. I saw already, like we were watching when we were in Egypt the NA games, and I saw there was some team playing deadlock on Icebox. Yeah. Some people will be happy with Icebox coming back, like for sure. I'm happy. Like I got used to love Haven, but in this team, like no, we don't gonna play Haven anyway. So I think like we are happy about the change. For it's gonna be good for our team. But the weapon is, I heard like it's broken. It's gonna change the meta of the small kev. I'm pretty sure. So you need to like economy will change in the game. We're gonna need to play more for the big Kevlar than before. And yeah, like it's gonna kind of change the game. Just one thing changing the game is huge, I think, because we're gonna play maybe less weapons on second round. Maybe there will be like rounds with ghost, just ghost, like 5 people ghost after winning first pistol. We don't know yet because, as I said, I didn't scream. But it's interesting. It's gonna be interesting for sure.
It's definitely an interesting balance approach, like you say, like using a lockpick with a sledgehammer. It's a big answer to a couple of different issues, perhaps. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see more changes throughout the year. Of course, you're playing over 2 splits. There's always the possibility that new maps come in or anything like that. In terms of the current pool that we have right now, with Haven having left as well, would you say that you rank it highly among your estimations, or is there anything like Pearl, for example, that you would like to see come back in, or maybe Fracture?
I would say it's time to remove the Ascent.
Yeah.
Because this map is like Mirage of CSGO, I would say. Everyone knows this map is like his most known map in the Valorant, I would say. I don't like Ascent, I would see it removed. But we are doing pretty good on the map, so it's okay. Like we were struggling on Haven, of course. But yeah, I'm happy like with Icebox. I don't like Pearl also, so I hope not coming back for at least second split or like maybe even in the half of the year. Like I don't remember how often is the map change. There should be 2 changes in the year, no?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah,
it's pretty rough.
Yeah, for now, map pool looks good, but I don't know what to say about Icebox yet because we didn't scream since we come back. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting from Thursday.
Final question then, and this does link into scrims a little bit. In terms of the other teams within Polaris, I know that Metasport have almost gone from 0 to hero in my estimations, at least, with some of the players that they've brought in. Do you see anyone else as being your rivals, so to speak, at this point in time? Anyone or other teams that you're looking forward to playing against, or is it very much sitting on your own shoulders at this point?
I'll be honest, I don't really know who is playing there in the teams.
Same as Kayak, yeah.
No, yeah, because it's the only thing I knew that Foxy is playing qualifiers.
Not anymore.
He lost. Yeah, he lost. So I don't think there is a team that we are like scared of. Of course, you know it's Valorant, so when it comes to official, we can lose some games. It's not a surprise. But for now, like I know there is our like human tripwires. I think they did good last split. Yeah, so maybe them gonna be like our opponent. I know there is like, I think the coach who is coaching the team you said.
Coach for Metasport would be Enfist, so yeah, another Polish guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, and then but like I can't say much about the opponents because I don't know yet who is in the team. Of course, I'm gonna check it before like everything will be announced, like because I think there is close qualifiers going on right now. But after this, I will for sure check and I will see who we should like prepare more for and who is gonna be less. You know.
Okay. Well, exciting stuff. It's all very much an unknown, and as we're getting closer and closer, can only be more excited for the first split of Polaris and your debut in the region. Is there any final words that you would like to leave with people in the Northern European community, EMEA as a whole, or perhaps the Apeks fans that have already backed you so far?
Yeah, like I hope you guys enjoy how we're gonna play this split and cheer for us, and yeah. It's happy to be there, for sure. Thanks for having us.
Okay. Thanks for having me be your interviewer this time around. Thanks for joining me, MOLSI. It's an absolute pleasure, and good luck in the new season.
Thank you, man.